Hello there fellow humans and welcome to this video. And you know what, the new Czech tanks are finally out, and at the top of the line sits the TVP T50-51. Now obviously I already got all of them and I already played them on stream. So I'm going to show you 3 replays here, 2 from the TVP T50-51 and 1 from the Skoda T50, and talk a little bit about how these tanks are played and how you should approach these vehicles when you think of getting this tech tree. Now first of all, one thing is, if you're not a very skilled player, then I would not recommend this line at all, because it's very hard to play, especially at high tiers. The T-34-100 and the TVP V2 are more like standard medium tanks, and they're not really that good. But then the Skoda T50 and the TVP, they're autoloaders, they're very fast, they don't have armor, so they require a lot of skill to actually play well. So let's jump into the games and let's talk about how they actually work. So now we're here in the first game in the Skoda TVP T50-51, the tier 10, and it is on Fort Despair. And there's the enemy 215B who's telling me hi, and I'm going to be telling him hi very soon as well. What I'm going to do in this tank is obviously I'm going to go to the medium side, because that's where you always go with your mediums. You never go city at the beginning of a battle in a medium tank. That is just plain stupid. And then I'm gonna take this bush right here, and then I'm gonna just use the clip 1240 in the clip of this tank, and then I'm gonna put some damage into this LV-215B and bounce a shot from the enemy 121, which means this tank, it doesn't really have a lot of armor. It basically has plot armor, where it's only useful when you don't need it or when you're actually fighting against it. So don't ever rely on the armor. There are some micro bounces here and there because of the sloping on the turret and the front, but the armor in general is not really good. What this tank is about the clip, the more than 1,200 damage in the clip, and obviously also the mobility, which allows you to use the clip very versatile, sort of as a bigger, weirder Batchat in a way, because it is bigger. It also has a bigger clip, so it is better, but it is still very hard to play. So if you're a newer player, if you're a non-experienced player, just don't get it, you know? Get tanks like the T125, get tanks like even the IS-7, which at least does forgive a lot of mistakes, because this tank forgives no mistakes at all. If you go out in front of an enemy, they are going to shoot you and they are going to penetrate you. Now, this tank has also another great thing about it, is that it is very accurate. Obviously at a range like this, it's kind of hard to hit anything, but still, it is a very accurate tank. However, you have 2-second inter-clip reload, which amounts to 6 seconds to unload the entire clip. The remaining time is 2.7 seconds. So, yeah, that's not cool. You kind of want to watch out for that. Now, how do you play this? What is the ideal playstyle for this vehicle? Obviously, every player plays differently, so I can't really tell you how to exactly play this tank. I'm just going to give you a few suggestions how I would play it, because obviously everyone plays differently. However, there are a few playstyles that are wrong. Let's get into those later. Firstly, obviously, one of them is not going to the city in a medium tank. That's stupid. Hope you know that already. But yeah, anyway, how to play this tank? Well, you basically have to be the asshole of the team, which is, like I'm doing it right now, I'm not playing with the team. I'm not playing anywhere near where my team is. Obviously, they went to the wrong side of the map. Anyway, but I'm not anywhere there either, because what you do in this tank is you find lonely vehicles like that FE215B who don't have anyone to support them, and then you go in, you clip them, and then you run out again. It's basically, you're an asshole. You're an absolute, complete asshole. You find the gaps in the enemy lines, you exploit those gaps, you use that to do damage, and then you basically inhale all the rage from the enemies, because they're gonna be pissed that they just got clipped from behind. Obviously, this playstyle does require somewhat of a capable team, and with capable, I mean the not shit that they fall apart. Never said they're good, because they're never good. Your teams are never good. But you have to be decent enough to at least hold their own against the enemies, because if I'm in a situation like this, I did 5.5k damage already. From the side, you know, there's not much more that I could have done in this match. And now I'm in a 1v4. And also, one not cool side of autoloaders in this game, if you have 2 shells of APCR left, and you reload APCR for 22 seconds, you're gonna only have 2 shells of APCR left. And that's not cool. And yeah, now I'm sitting in this rock and I'm just waiting for the 1-1 to appear. And despite the horrible lag that happened there, because this game was on a stream, and if you haven't checked out my streams yet, then why haven't you? I do low roll on the guy, and that's quite depressing. What's also quite depressing is they haven't even liked the video yet. Like, come on, man, do it. Or woman, I don't judge. But yeah, as you see, the WT grill, they didn't really live up to what their tank could do. And with that horrible disappointment, let's move on to the next horrible disappointment, and it is in the TVP T50. It's gonna be another show of exactly how to play these type of tanks. Obviously, I'm a medium tank, so I'm going to the castle on Castilla, or whatever the hell that is. I mean, it doesn't look like a castle, it's more like a church, but whatever. Obviously, the Church of Orange Jesus, most likely, because obviously, if you go there, then you get a lot of damage and you get good RNG, obviously. So, yeah. Anyway, now here I'm on the hill, and what this hill allows me to do is basically shoot everyone that is over there, unless there is other people that are on the hill. For example, there's 3 spotted right now over there that I can easily clip. However, I do get shot at. I'm getting spotted, obviously, due to the T55A. And, well, I mean, it's a T55A, so no need to worry about him as of now. Because if you don't know that yet, and please don't be offended if you're a T55A player, but 95% of all T55A players are absolute morons, and this guy is not an exception, as you can see right there, because he YOLOs into the T49 right in front of me, and this is the perfect way to play these vehicles. You want a teammate to take the attention away from you. You want the team... the enemy team to focus someone else on your team so that you can use that to your advantage to snipe from afar, basically. Obviously, not camping. Camping is very, very bad, because camping means you sit in a spot regardless if you have targets or not. Sniping means you shoot from a distance when you have targets, and when you don't have targets anymore, you reposition to another spot from a distance where you also have targets. So that's the difference. Don't be a camper. And as you can see right here, they're just sitting on the hill. They have nothing they can do against me. And that is the perfect way of playing this tank. Now, I decided to not kill the M6 here, which I should have, to be honest. And looking back at this game, I should have done that. But I was like, well, I can do more damage here, so I guess I have to prioritize damage over kills. Which you shouldn't do, obviously. Because if you take out a tank, you take out a gun. And that means that they aren't able to do more damage. But I was like, in this situation, well, I have 3 teammates over there. It's only a 1 shot. They can take him out anyway, hopefully. So I decided to prioritize damage here, because obviously it doesn't have the highest of DPM. So I want to maximize that while I still can. Because this game, so far, it's even, but it doesn't look too good. Now there's this super pushing, and well, I missed the first shot, I get the second shot into it. Now, this is crucial moment here. I activate even the speed boost to get away from him, because now I'm reloading. And the super pushing is charging me. If I wouldn't have the support of the T49 here, it would look very, very bad. And that's exactly what I'm saying with, you have to be a very good player to play this tank well, because if you're not, then you're going to get yourself into a lot of bad situations, which aren't going to be very favorable for you. Like, for example, this one. Now, I'm just going to go... do I go back up the hill? No. We don't know where the Jagdtiger is. And now we know where the Jagdtiger is, and he's exactly up the hill. Now, I'm going to go away here, obviously, because you don't want to face anyone head-on in this tank. You don't have armor. You have even less armor than the Tier 10. Because while the Tier 10 has some form of sloping on the front, this one doesn't have any. And I don't know why I shot heat there. I just don't know. It was on a stream. It wasn't a good time. So yeah, now I'm reloading here again, and the T49 and the Jagdtiger are kind of hugging each other, and the T49 managed to finish him off. And the Jagdtiger is obviously pissed about that. And now we spot the M6, who was somehow still alive, which basically means that my team didn't do their job, and I'm on 5,000 damage. Now, what I try to do here is, obviously, I try to get away again, you know, play it from a distance. And now, I see, oh, the other guy's there as well. That's not good. And, yeah, I spot the ML2, which does bounce a shot off my turret. But now, it is in a DPM war, that's a low roll, and then that is a low roll as well. And with those two shots being low rolls, I didn't have enough damage to actually finish him off. And well, that is 6,000 damage in the Skoda T50, and it does not result in a win. Because, well, in 20% of cases you can blame the team, and I think in this case, it does make sense with the 2FTU, which is one of the best tier rates, doing 0 damage. And a tier 8 extra also doing 0 damage, so the team could have certainly played better there. And now, for the end, I'm going to show you a replay with a decent team, and actually, spoiler alert, this is not a first class. It doesn't go down. So, yeah. Also, if you're still here and you haven't subscribed yet, then, well, there's a button down there, I think. You might try it out if you want. Obviously, in a TVP, I'm going to the medium side because that's where you always go with your medium tanks. That's how you play your medium tanks. With medium tanks, you play for your mobility because most of the time you lack penetration, obviously, like this tank does. Only 319 on the heat, and I believe 240 or something like that on the APCR. So that is not that good, and you cannot penetrate a E100 from the front. So how to not play a medium tank? It's quite simple. Don't go with the heavies, don't charge in and die, and obviously use your brain. And with use your brain, I mean play smartly, be aware of your surroundings, because that's the easiest way to do well, you know? For example, if I would have just focused straight up forward and into the enemies, I wouldn't have not gotten this opportunity to shoot the 62A. I would have not gotten that damage. I would have simply just focused on the 62A in front of me. So always be aware of your surroundings, which that T62A clearly wasn't. And he didn't really do that well at all. So, yeah. He's a perfect example how to not play a medium tank. Especially how to not play an auto-loading medium tank. Because you always want some support. Now, I was a bit not careful there. I did get hit for 720 damage. Now, at that point, we check the scoreboard. Who is on there? Who can do that amount of damage? It has to be the Object 704. Awareness. You know what's going on your match. Then, you also know that there's 2 heavy tanks over there. That means the Object 704 is most likely isolated. So, I have enough hit points here to take another shot from the Object 704, and I'm almost reloaded. And I can see the Vickers pushing. So, again, asshole playstyle, I make the Vickers attack the Object 704 first, so that he is distracted, and then I can just simply clip off the Object 704, which puts me at 2.7k damage, which is decent, I guess, so far, but it's gonna be better, don't worry. What I'm gonna do now is, I could have just went straight on, but I didn't, obviously, because I don't want to run headfirst into any of those heavy tanks that are over there, because that's not how you play medium tanks. That's especially not how you play a TVP. The TVP is the asshole tank. You clip from a side. You do not go into a one-on-one, head-on combat unless you're 100% certain to clip a tank. Like, for example, if they're on 700 HP. Then you can go for a frontal engagement fight of that style. But normally, you never do that. Because, obviously, then you sit there for 22 seconds. You have to somehow reverse away, and then you can't really do anything about it. So don't do that. Just play from a distance and be useful. You can also, to get a little bit more insight onto how to play this tank in World Tanks PC, which is a more long-range game, just check out the guide park they did a few years ago. That also makes sense, and that explains it quite well. Now, I have to use heat here because obviously the penetration is ass. Yeah, that's the end of this game as well. And we had a competent team this time, which means we did not lose, and which also means that at the end of this game, it is an ace tanker with 4,300 damage. I think this was one of my first games that I played in the TVP on stream. So yeah, if you want to see more TVP on stream, then yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of my streams, which can also happen on Twitch, by the way. And without disappointment, that is it. Thank you very much for watching,